Hey everyone, welcome back to the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel. Jenna Cottrell alongside Dan Fates outside of Highmark Stadium here on a Bills Thursday practice. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe as we continue to gain the followers. We really appreciate it as this channel continues to grow. Jenna, Bills getting ready. Obviously, we have talked ad nauseum about the heartbreaking loss to the New England Patriots. Now they need to turn the page, that 24-hour rule that they talk about, and now getting back to work, facing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But what was the vibe that you felt today at practice?
I felt like it was one of those situations where everyone knew it was at hand. Like, this is a huge pivotal point in the season. Look, you're coming off that tough loss. You have the defending Super Bowl champions coming up. And we saw, like, Emmanuel Sanders, a guy that's a veteran on this team, kind of breaking down the huddle and being very animated. We couldn't hear exactly what he was saying, obviously, but a lot of clapping today. You saw Josh Allen being like, come on, guys, like, let's go. And I think that's indicative of where they're at and what they need to be doing. Not a lot of dancing today, but at the same point, I feel like we haven't seen that much. Again, I feel like it's a theme, just like how this Bills season has been a theme of 1 week it's, hey guys, let's be us. Another week it's very buttoned up, and I think this week we saw a very buttoned up team. And they know what's ahead, and they know what's in store, and they know it's going to be a really tough game.
Yeah, I know some fans are probably sick and tired of hearing maybe the lip service of that there's no panic, but Josh Allen did reiterate that there is a sense of urgency, and Deion Dawkins reiterated that as well, of just like, it's time to go. Like, you know, this win-loss that they've been doing for the last 2 months, it's going to come back to bite them, and they need to kind of right the ship. So I felt that was a business-like approach today at practice. It was a, hey, let's get stuff done. We need to get back on track. And I felt like they got back, Jenna, to fundamentals.
Yeah.
I think that was the big thing that I noticed as, you know, this offense has struggled at times.
Yeah, definitely. And talking to Stephon Diggs after practice, like, I literally asked him, because we've heard so many times, it's all about execution. I was like, how do you get better at that? Like, I genuinely was curious because... And he basically said, like, the devil is in the details. And maybe this team at points of the season have overlooked those small details. He talks about how big preparation is going into it, preparing, you know, even before game day. What are you doing on Monday? What are you doing on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday as you lead into this game? So I think that's a huge thing. And then just overall, like, I love Deion Dawkins, what he said. He's like, there's no secret recipe. It's just us. And I feel like that's so true. Like, I feel like fans have probably maybe hit the panic button, understandably so. But I feel like the ceiling for this team is still so high. Yeah. It's about them being all on the same page, being disciplined, having their head in it, playing smart.
Not shooting themselves in the foot.
Playing smart, playing fast, playing physical, and not turning over the ball.
Yeah, and it was interesting because I know a lot of people have been asking, what can this offense do? They need to change something. They need to be more, you know, it seems like we've been talking about it ad nauseum on the podcast that we have that's also up on this channel, the fact of, well, they need to be physical. Well, they're not built to be physical.
Yeah.
So I asked Josh Allen at this point because at this point, you're kind of who you are, and you kind of got to go to the dance with the person that brought you. And this is the point where I asked Josh, like, what can you change this late in the season? And he said it was very interesting. It's not about adding something. It's not about taking something that somebody else is doing. It's subtracting. It's doing what we do really well. And I asked Stephon Diggs that, and he's like, absolutely. It's about being simple. We know who we are. Get the ball to our playmakers. Play fast, like you said. Be us. Have fun. Do all those things. And I was like, where has that been for the last 2 months? Because I feel like it's been so inconsistent. Because but I just feel like
it has been
but I feel like when you start to panic too much, you kind of go back to the basics and go like, hey, what is this team constructed on? And I really think you're going to see a lot more of a focused, more of a Bills team that you're used to seeing for the last 16 plus the 14 weeks and the last 30 weeks.
Yeah. No, but that is the trademark of this team, is being able to pass the ball. And I think that's why fans have been frustrated. And I think we kind of saw, I feel like the phrase we've heard a lot is like differing philosophies between McDermott and between Dable. But I think when push comes to shove and you're going down to Tampa and you're playing a team like this and you're coming off an offensive game where you couldn't really effectively move the ball, you're going to see this team be themselves, and that's through the passing game. Yeah,
and like I said, we have gotten a lot of cliches, and I felt like there were a lot of honest answers, honestly. I think Jordan Poyer, Deion Dawkins, Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, even Sean McDermott today gave insightful answers as to what they're going through, how they're trying to deal with it. And I thought it was a genuine good day, and in the sense of getting a little bit more of insight as to what is going on in the locker room and what they're planning on doing of fixing it. Josh admits too, like, this hasn't been easy. Like, this isn't what we want to do. Like, kind of expressing his frustration that I'm sure you, as the viewer, is saying, like, that's what we've been waiting for.
Yeah.
What else you've been frustrated with is probably for the last 20 years is facing against Tom Brady, which is who the Bills will face again on this Sunday. Just the respect. We heard Harrison Phillips talk about it on Wednesday, just saying that, it's just he loves to play against Tom Brady just because of the fact that you're getting to play one of the greatest of all times in his eyes. What else were the Bills saying about going up against TB12?
I mean, I feel like it's all about respect, and like they obviously respect the hell out of a guy like Tom Brady. Also, I mean, McDermott's saying that he's playing his best that he's seen him play, which is it's also terrifying that he's
At 40,
44.
yeah.
Like, that's insane. But I think we have seen, I mean, this is a really complete Tampa Bay team.
Yeah.
Like, they are scary. Tom Brady has been able to move the ball very quickly. He has a lot of weapons as well. And it's going to be a huge challenge. And you hear every week how hard it is to win in the NFL from the Bills because they have been inconsistent or very consistent. I guess just not in the way you're hoping for. But I feel like it's very fitting that it's Tom Brady
Standing in the way.
It's kind of poetic.
Yeah.
Poetic in a way.
Yeah.
Because of what he has meant to Buffalo, and not in a great way.
Yeah.
But of course they respect him. How could you not? I mean, he's phenomenal at what he does.
And this is a weird take, and some of you may disagree with it, like most of my takes. But it's like, I really think that for the most part, this Bills team is built to go up against this Bucs team than they were against the Patriots in those elements. And I mean that in the sense of they will try and spread you out. They have so many weapons. It's not going to be a shocker that Gronk's going to get the ball in coverage. Yeah. But that's what you have Matt Milano for. They have weapons like Mike Evans and Chris Godwin and those guys.
I'm just worried about Leonard Fournette.
Absolutely. And that is one of the things that they will need to adjust with. But I just don't think that this Bucs team is going to try and run the ball down their throat to the extent that the Patriots did. Because of Tom Brady, because he's having an MVP caliber season, because the weather won't be as bad, all of those things. The question will be if Dane Jackson is up for the challenge. And we asked Jordan Poyer, hey, look, you've gone up against Tom Brady a bunch of times. What have you told Dane Jackson, who hasn't gone up against it at all? And they said they were joking. Jordan Poyer said he was joking with Levi Wallace when it was his first game going up against Tom Brady. And he goes, you learn real quickly what the game plan was. And he was like, why? He's like, because they threw at Levi the first 8 passes of the game. They will target Dane Jackson. This game will come down to if Dane Jackson can make some plays against Chris Godwin, against Mike Evans, as well as Levi Wallace. So that is where it is. But again, Micah Hyde, Jordan Poyer, having Pro Bowl caliber, all pro caliber seasons, they are going to need to be the rocks that stop Tom Brady from putting up massive numbers in this one.
I agree with you because I obviously think Tom Brady is a huge piece of this offense and so are their offensive weapons, but I'm curious to see how much they will run the ball because of how effective it has been.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw the Chiefs come in here 2 years ago, and they had that lighted up offense, and they didn't need to go to Patrick Mahomes because of what we saw. I don't know. I'm curious after coming off of that loss and the Colts game and other games this season where you saw the Bills get run on.
Brady's got an ego. I think he wants to pad some stats, or will at least try to pad his stats to continue that MVP in his early 40s, which is just insane to ask.
That's like mid-40s.
Yeah. We've got plenty more coverage throughout the rest of the weekend. Jenna is heading down to sunny Tampa. She's really upset about it, as I just recently thawed out from the Monday night game, like most of you that were here at this one. Plenty more coverage. They'll have more from Tampa Bay as well as the weekend goes on, and then coverage Sunday and beyond. For Jenna Cottrell, I'm Dan Fates. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching here on the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel.